Welcome back to Eliances Heroes, where heroes in business align. To be part of our super community and find out more about Eliances, visit www.eliances.com.
That's right, and we're back. And by the way, thank you so much for the feedback that I continue to have when we had on the president and CEO of the National Academy Television and Arts and Sciences. Make sure that you go to eliances.com, eliancs.com, and click on the radio and podcast show. Well, I'm so excited about our next guest. Wait until you hear, first of all, what he's doing and the lineup of incredible stars that he has. Welcome to the show. That's right. Welcome to the show, Thom Harp. He's a screenwriter and director. And Thom, I want you to steal the thunder first in regards to what movie have you got that's coming out?
The movie is called Home Delivery, and it comes out this Friday, the 27th of March, in theaters all across the country. I'm thrilled. We have had just wonderful responses to the film, and it's a comedy about a woman who invites her family to witness the birth of the first grandchild, which sounds really lovely and sweet, but things go kind of wrong right from the jump, and all of the things that could possibly go wrong with birth do go wrong, and the family has to deal with, all of the insanity of that and come together in the end to make sure that we have a happy ending.
Now, how did this come to be? I mean, at what point did you just wake up or it popped in your head in regards to, I want to do a movie about this?
Well, I've always found that the comedy that I respond the most to is stuff that starts from a very, a place that's kind of universal, and then finding the ways to make it a little bit crazier. Everyone has been born, so we have all of that in common. And the stories that I heard about my birth, I was born on a naval base. So my mom always jokes that I cost $1.72 because that was what the Kleenex box cost, and that's all that she got offered was just a box of Kleenex. But then, when I have three kids, and the first two were born, one with a doula and one with a midwife. Neither of them were born at home, but I knew a lot of people who were doing that. And what happened with our birth is that, especially our first birth, we didn't know what we were doing. And so we invited all of my wife's extended family in to join us for the birth. Because I'm in the film industry, I had a friend who was there to film the entire thing and to get interviews with everyone. And I realized about a half an hour in, oh my gosh, what are we doing? This is too many people. My poor wife is sitting there in a smock and, like naked underneath a smock, trying to deliver this kid, and everyone is distracting her with, can I get you something? Can I give you a foot massage? Can I give you a back massage? And at a certain point, she was just like, I have to focus. And I thought, well, that's just a very funny circumstance to be in. And when I did more research on that and had more friends who were having their own birth stories, including friends who did have home births, it felt like it's something that we haven't seen before, and something that a lot of us, we have that exposure to. So it just felt universal and something that would be charming and funny and right in all the wrong ways.
And how do you create that type of balance? Because, it is something that, right, is serious, someone having a child, and yet let alone a miracle that it even can happen, right? I mean, if you think about it really that deep, but how's, you said you have three kids and stuff. Maybe tell us, was that part of the inspiration? Maybe part also too in regards
Absolutely.
to the. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I think that the first, when you have your first kid, you don't really know what you're doing. And we had two that my wife and I conceived, and then one who we adopted. And I wanted to be able to have all of those stories honored. And also I have a lot of friends who have tried so hard to get pregnant and weren't able to. So I really wanted to talk about all of those kinds of things. And whenever I tackle anything, I want to do it with compassion, and I want to do it in a way that holds a mirror up to ourselves and hopefully gets us to a place where we can laugh at ourselves. And once you can laugh at yourself, it's kind of like all of the armor that we put up starts to come, the walls start to come down, the armor gets cracks in it, and we can start relating to each other in a more honest way. And that was really important to me. So having that having the birth experiences gave me plenty of material, but also I just knew that it was the kind of thing that people would find, that I was trying to tell enough sides of the story that everyone would have a way in.
All right, now we need to talk about this incredible cast that you have. I mean, it is the top of the line. It is
Thank you.
amazing.
I pinch myself every day. It's crazy.
You got to. Can you share for our audience too? I mean, the list
Absolutely.
It's huge. I want you to go ahead and share that though.
So we have a lot of people. We have this incredible cast that is stacked full of people who you've loved maybe for years. In the case of someone like Joe Pantoliano, he's been the bad guy in so many movies for forever, and one of my personal favorites. All the way back to Risky Business. But he's phenomenal in it, and he gets to play a nice guy, and that's something that he had never done before, which is why he wanted to do the movie. Leslie Ann Warren, who I've been a fan of since Victor Victoria and Clue, she plays the mom, and she's wonderful in it. Then as the parents, we have Donald Faison, who is most people know through Scrubs. He's as charming and delightful on set. He will start singing songs in between. If you get him going on a song, it's just the most fun I've had on a set when the camera isn't rolling. We have Jimmy Simpson, who I first found through David Letterman. He was this bad intern, Lyle, the intern.
Right.
And he's so funny in everything he's done. He's been in serious stuff like Westworld and Dark Matter, but he got to play sort of the most like me, except he's got a glorious head of hair, character in the movie. And he's a sweetheart in real life, and his mom is so happy because he always plays jerks or bad guys, and in this one he gets to play a nice guy. We have Rainn Wilson in a surprise role, which is
Everybody
something
knows him.
Yeah, and when fans of The Office see this, they are going to lose their minds. It's not the Dwight that you know. It's a softer, sweeter side, but no less weird. So that's a great role. Peter McNichol, who people know from Ally McBeal. Melanie Field, who is the pregnant woman and was such a revelation to me. I'd seen her briefly in some things, but she is the one who's really going to break out, I think, from this, because many people may not have known her, but she is just a star in this movie. And then Lindsay Sloan, who is wonderful. Bring It On. She's been in tons of TV for forever. She plays the big sister, who the two sisters are really the emotional core of the story. So I just feel, again, so blessed. Tracy Toms, I'm forgetting Tracy Toms. She's phenomenal as the midwife. So we have these people who I've admired for so long, and everyone came in and they were so excited to just play in this, playground that gave a lot of them an opportunity to play characters that were different than the ones that they played in the past.
Was there a time where they were all on the set at the same time?
Oh, yes. There's a lot of scenes. There's scenes where
you got to come out with the hidden clips of that.
We have some bloopers, yes, and we will be sharing that once the movie comes out. I think we don't want to put the bloopers out before the movie comes out, but maybe in a couple of weeks we'll release the bloopers. But everyone had so much fun on set, and my goal as a director is always to create a safe environment where people feel like they can take chances and that I'll be there and support them. We had an intimacy coordinator because we wanted to make sure that, birth is a very exposed thing. And even though we don't show any of it, it still requires vulnerability. And so we had an intimacy coordinator who worked throughout it. We had almost 50% of the crew were women, which was wonderful and very, for me, that's really important. I want to try to mirror society as much as possible behind the camera as well as in front of the camera. So yeah, we had such a wonderful time, and it was a fast shoot because we didn't, this isn't a big budget movie. It's an independent comedy, and so, but we always had time to play. We made sure that people had a chance if they came up with something really fun that they wanted to do. I always was like, okay, let's try it. Let's get it on its feet.
Excellent. And I think the thing is people, unless you've done it, don't realize how many moving parts there are, and really how difficult it is to put together what you've done. You're counting on so many different people, so much logistics, that it's a miracle again that a movie can even be produced. What kind of advice?
Every movie is a miracle. Every movie that gets made is a miracle, and that's why it bothers me when I go online and I see people dumping on movies. I'm like, just say something. Like my mom taught me, like, if you're not going to say something nice, don't say something at all. I wish that's with the way that the internet worked, because if you look at a restaurant and one restaurant has 150 positive results, and then the other one has like 15 positive results, I understand. I don't need the negatives. If I just see like, oh, that's great. I wish people were a little bit more positive.
So with that, what kind of advice would you give to those, because now it's graduation season and people that want to go into the same industry as you?
Oh, I think that the thing that makes it fantastic is that right now we live in a time when the technology is so democratized. So it's very easy to get out there. And my biggest advice to any young filmmaker is make as many short films as you can, put them up on YouTube, put them on Vimeo, whatever the source is. Ideally send it out into the world if you can go to film festivals, because that's when you start to hear where the audience is connected to your work. But the most important thing is just, you don't find your voice the first time. Even Quentin Tarantino has a movie that he's never shown anyone because it's his very first movie. He just didn't feel like it was up to what he felt he could do. And so he shelved it. It's never been seen. And the first movie that anyone saw was Reservoir Dogs. Well, I think it's a good lesson. You want to get your skills, and the best way to do it is when no one's looking. So first thing that you can do, make a lot of stuff, build a community. That's the most important thing. Find sort of your tribe, the people who are going to be the ones who, you find someone who wants to write music. Well, ask them to compose the music on your short film. That's their first credit maybe. And it's your first credit. And then, we just saw Ryan Coogler and Ludwig Göransson, who met in college, and they just both won Academy Awards 15 odd years later. So, and they've worked together all the way through. And I just think that that's the thing, that when you're starting out, don't look at the next level up. Look at the people who are on the same plane as you are, and form community that way, because that's how you can celebrate each other's successes. You can be there for each other when things are not going well, and you'll grow together. And that really, to me, is the best way to learn is by growing with a group of people who know you well enough to say that wasn't your best work, as opposed to people who are always going to say, oh yeah, you're brilliant.
Right.
Like once you get into the Emperor's New Clothes stuff, that's no good for you as an artist. You need to get with the people who are going to give you honest feedback.
Excellent. Well, I love it. That's right. Find your tribe. And Thom, you certainly have found your tribe. Thom Harp, writer and director of Home Delivery. Make sure you go to see his movie, all right? Don't wait. Go ahead and see his movie. We'll also be posting further information in regards to it. It's been an honor having you on our show today, so thank you so much.
Thank you.
You gotta also kind of dance with me a little bit here too.
All right.